Hello, it's Paul Armour here again, sometimes known as the stuttering professor because I've got a slight speech impediment. Today I want to talk to you about this, the 5 dysfunctions of a team by Patrick Lencioni. That's how you pronounce his name. And this is like one of those sort of classic books that I think every person should have read, or at least looked at my sort of book somewhere of it, because it lies at the very heart of like, where do teams go wrong? And we've all been in great teams where they've actually done fantastic things. You've really enjoyed being there. And we've probably all been on teams that basically have just shriveled and died. And you know, when you start to look at what the difference that makes the difference is, you find there are basic 5 fundamental reasons for that. And it all starts with the most important one, which is trust. And so the very basic foundations of all about building teams is about trust. And actually the problems where it all starts going wrong is when there's an absence of trust. And actually when there's an absence of trust, then people conceal their weaknesses. They feel a bit reticent about letting know who they really are, and basically they hesitate in sort of giving constructive feedback because they feel it's going to be used against them. And when you've got teams that are really strong in trust with each other, then they're happy to admit their weaknesses. They're happy to admit, look, I'm really good at that, but frankly, I'm lousy at doing that. And also, when you do that, therefore, you're prepared to ask for help. Say, look, could you help me in that area, please? I need a bit of help there. That is really powerful. And because of that, it allows the team to start taking risks. Now, if you don't have the foundations of trust, what you then get, you get the next level problem up, which is the fear of conflict. Because if you don't trust and you don't feel that you're going to be listened to, or you don't know how it's going to be played back to you, then you tend to sit on the fence. You don't challenge people, you hold off from doing that, and basically that causes a fear of conflict, which fundamentally we need to have this ability to speak the truth within any type of relationship. The third level is then if you actually are in a place that there is a lack of trust, which therefore means that there is a fear of conflict, it therefore means there's a lack of commitment. You sort of see people come into those meetings and they sort of sit back and they're on their phones and they don't really fully commit to that team versus people who are really in it full time. And when you have that, then actually you get to the next level up, which is an absence of accountability. Where good enough is okay. No one's pushing anyone to do anything really powerful and to hold them to deliver really strong results. It's well, it doesn't matter because you don't really care about the team. You don't really care about the people, and you sort of check out. You're there, but you checked out. There are probably other teams you're much more committed to, and therefore if you're not committed, therefore you don't have that accountability. And therefore that leads to the final one, which is inattention to actually results. Because I don't care. I don't care if the results are good or bad. I've checked out. I'm not really part of that team. And that's a horrible, horrible place to be. And if you ever are in a team like that, you've got to either call it or you've got to get out because you're not helping it. So the book fundamentally goes back to go back to trust. You've got to build this from trust. And what's trust come from? Trust comes from time together, getting people to all be together in this space. And it's about understanding each other and accepting each other's strengths and accepting each other's weaknesses. Myers-Briggs, 360, all that stuff where we open up about who we are and who we are not and stop trying to pretend to be there. We are Mr. or Miss sort of perfect. And the other one is that the leader has got to lead by example. And they're the ones who are going to be the first one who said, mea culpa, look, I'm unsure about this. Can I give you some feedback about that? And they're the ones who've got to be strong and be doing all that stuff. So that's the book within a nutshell. I think it's a very good book. It's okay to go and read. It's not a long book, so it's quite easy to get through. So I would actually definitely recommend it. Criticism, well, it's the normal one, which is it's easy to actually say than to actually do. But that doesn't mean that is not right. So again, recommend it. Go onto my website and you'll go to see the book summary of that, and please subscribe. Take care. See you long.